We begin this hour with breaking news: the arrest of former Prince Andrew in connection with the Jeffrey Epstein files. Now, police detained him this morning at his home on, quote, suspicion of misconduct in public office. Emails that were released as part of the Epstein files have led to questions about whether Andrew passed confidential information to Epstein when he was a British trade envoy. Now, he has strongly denied any wrongdoing here. In a statement, King Charles said this: I have learned with the deepest concern that the news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and suspicion of misconduct in public office. He added, let me state clearly, the law must take its course. CBS News royal contributor Julian Payne was communications director for King Charles when he was Prince of Wales. Julian, thank you for joining us. You're the perfect person to have at this time. You know the king very well. Listen, he's releasing this statement, but he's talking about his own brother. What do you make of his reaction to the arrest this morning?
Well, look, there is absolutely no doubt that this is a huge shock, another huge shock for the institution. But the king is very clear, as he has said, he understands that the law must take its course. So whilst they will be dealing with this as a family, in his role as king, he's very clear on how this has to now unfold.
Do you know, Julian, if the royal family was aware that this arrest was in the works or could possibly happen?
It's that kind of thing that I just couldn't comment on. I would be very mindful of not wanting to interfere with the proper due process, I'm afraid, Gayle.
So, Julian, Andrew was already stripped of his title. What potential actions might the king take in response to this police activity?
Yeah, look, I think you've seen going all the way back to 2019 when he gave that interview on the BBC that the now king and the late queen were very quick to ensure that he stepped back from those royal duties. In 2022, the queen removed his HRH title, and in October last year, the king removed any of those last titles, the Duke of York, and now he has had him move out of Royal Lodge. What is clear now is that the next stage is one for the authorities, for the judiciary in the UK to now take these next steps. The king has made it clear that the full, fair and proper process must be followed in what really is an unprecedented statement. And this, for me, is the real change. You see now, under the reign of King Charles, a monarchy that is willing to talk, a monarchy that is willing to engage and explain the steps that are being taken. And I think that is really important.
You know, we heard in our last hour, Julian, that if you're convicted, this charge carries a maximum life in prison. I mean, that all we all went, whoa, this is how serious this is. So what does this mean for the royal family?
I think that there can be no doubt that this is a very serious matter. I think the king has made it clear in that statement, and I've no doubt the rest of the family will really be feeling the significance of this. They understand, however, that it is really important at this stage that there can be no perception that they are in any way interfering with the appropriate manner and the appropriate authorities. So I think that they will be very, very mindful that their job is now to let proper process take its course. But as I say, we're in uncharted territory. But what's really clear is the institution is not just going to shut up shop. That era of never complain, never explain, I think has now gone. And what you see is the king taking quite a modern approach to this, respecting the authorities that now need to take the front foot.
All right, Julian Payne, thank you so much for your time this morning.